of the season for the lower divisions offers, as ever for the clubs, a memorable day at this famous old football arena. For Tranmere, led up by manager Johnny King, it's a return trip then, of course, after last year's success. And for Birmingham City, with Lou Macari proudly at the helm, a long, long wait is finally over. 1956 was the last time Birmingham City were here. The FA Cup Final, they lost to Manchester City. And such is the euphoria that surrounded their reappearance today. More than 40,000 have travelled down from England's second city to offer their vociferous support, and I can tell you it really is vociferous, for the team that Macari frankly has transformed since taking over back in February. Well, Tranmere's following isn't anything like so large, that's for sure, but they have another date here too. Johnny King's team in a week's time, which I think many more will attend, the playoff final against Bolton, from which they hope to return to the second division for the first time in more than 50 years. But just listen to the support that Birmingham City have here today. It really is quite staggering. Playing on the hallowed Wembley turf, a new experience for so many players this afternoon in Tranmere's team as well as Birmingham's. There have been changes in their side since last season's triumph over Bristol Rovers. So a lot of nerves jangling out there as the players head towards the presentations. The guest of honour at the Leyland DAF Final today is the former Arsenal and England footballer and England cricketer, Dennis Compton, CBE. Tranmere players waving to their supporters here at this crowd that I would think is certainly over 50,000. And for sure more than watched the England international against Argentina here yesterday. Well, Ron Atkinson, you were here yourself not so long ago, of course, with Sheffield Wednesday and the Rumbelows Cup Final. How do you think the teams and indeed the managers out there are thinking right at this moment?
Well, they should be enjoying it. I always feel if you come to Wembley, it's an occasion to be enjoyed. And I think both managers will have done their utmost to have made sure his teams are relaxed, that the team's in the right frame of mind. Interesting thought there, watching Dennis Compton coming out there, Peter, being presented to the sides. He was actually playing Test cricket when Birmingham were last at Wembley.
And we're also saying about the motorways, no M1 in those days and no M40. You've come down on those today, absolutely jam-packed. Must have been hard getting here back in 1956. Yes. But here the Tranmere players introduced by their captain Eric Nixon then, who's taken over the skipper's role today. He was captain midweek for the second leg of the playoff semi-final. And Jimmy Harvey left out of the team. He's been captain for most of the season. And also Steve Mungal, who's injured. He's not in the starting lineup. So Eric Nixon gets his chance to captain a Wembley side. Eric Nixon, who was in goal for the two matches last season, and also played here a few seasons back in the full Members' Cup Final for Manchester City. And there's Johnny King there meeting Dennis Compton. What an incredible job Johnny King has done. Just 3 years ago, a little more than that, Tranmere were bottom of the fourth division. And here they are now back at Wembley, and next week challenging yet again for a place in the second division. Well, now Dennis Compton playing across to meet the players from Birmingham City. And Lou Macari was saying, Ron, he's a bit worried how nervous, how worried they might be. It is such a new occasion for so many of them.
Yes, that's right. I mean, you don't know how your players are going to react on the day. Some just live it and enjoy it and don't feel inhibited. Some completely freeze. Once again, referring back to the gentleman being introduced to the side, a cup winner himself with the Arsenal 1950. I mean, I think that's a marvellous touch, letting Dennis Compton be presented to both sides.
Vince Everson, the captain of Birmingham City. Big smile from Vince, former Burnley player, of course. He was a third division championship winner with them back in the early 80s. And Vince, rest assured, will give his all today, and I think that might just prove telling on the day. These Birmingham City players are very fired up. It means so much to the people of Birmingham. That's no disrespect to those of Liverpool where Tranmere come from. But it's not such a fresh occasion for them, of course, having been here twice last season. Now there's Lou Macari. Well, there's a lot of speculation about his future. Perhaps he's moving to Celtic, who knows? But for the moment, that is right at the back of his mind. And he really has done a terrific job since taking over from Dave Mackay at St Andrews. There's the referee today, John Martin, the oldest referee in the Football League. Not 52, as some people are saying. He's not quite 52, Ron. He's approaching it, he says. I prefer to be called experienced.
That in itself is a tremendous achievement. The referee